Good morning. Day off for me yesterday. Did you trade at all? Let's see any opportunities. Silkeborg and Vejla. For any over 2.5 goal enthusiasts, you got the goal in the first half for Vejla. Silkeborg equaliser. If you were following the in-play stats, that was on the cards as well as a separate play. Relegation group is split now. As you'll see in a lot of European groups, they'll split into Championship and Relegation group. Brentford and Wolves, well, 1.53 home favourite, 2-0 lead in the first half. That is reflecting the 1.53. Wolves got a goal back and got a late 2-2. My angle in would have been a very, very late lay the draw, that Desmond 2-2. Why? Because 3 points for Wolves will edge them towards 20 points. Psychologically huge for Wolves. They're within 3 wins of matching Nottingham Forest on 29 points. Portsmouth and Derby, an interesting match this, because the favourite was a relegation threatened side. The underdog was a side who, with a win, go within 3 points of the playoffs. And it's Derby who got the 6-minute goal. Would you have taken on this Derby lead? In-play stats, of course, would have answered that question for you as to whether Portsmouth can keep Derby quiet. Don't forget, this is the side in the higher league position. So, an interesting market yesterday. Pompey didn't get an equaliser. In-play stats, did they suggest taking on a Pompey lead with insurance, of course? Well, 1.72 expected goals for the totality of the match means that those 9 shots on target, the vast majority of them are pretty good quality. 11 corners to 3 is concerted pressure as well. But that 0.4 in the first half, suggesting the equaliser, if there is going to be one, ain't going to come in the first half. Second half, 1.32. If we can spot this evolving expected goals, marry it with the shots on target, possibility of an equaliser. Up to you whether you'd have taken that or not. We don't tend to see touches in box and the likes of touches in the box is a good stat for me, and shots inside the box as well is a good stat for me. If we can get those, and I'll have a look in In-Play Guru, they can give you an idea as to whether to play this or not. So up to you if you were to play. That's a tricky one to decipher live, isn't it? Because the better side, or the better league position side, is a side that's leading early. Obviously, the mistake I made on Sunday with getting involved in the Cagliari match and getting involved in the Cercle Brugge matches, both relegation fodder, and this is mid-March. So obviously these relegation threat sides are there for a good reason. They're not reliable. That's something I found out to my cost on Sunday. So an interesting match, that one. French Ligue 2, again, all based on the in-play stats. The 2.45 the favourite and the red card. Given the Estac proximity to the top. And it's all about when that red card arrived. Look at that, a win. Automatic promotion places. The important points tally is the 47 for Le Mans. They're getting ever closer to automatic promotion, Estac. They've been in French Ligue 1 before. Nancy, where are they? Mid-table mediocrity for Nancy, but whether the entry point at 43, a win for Nancy yesterday would have been absolutely crucial for their possible playoff ambitions. So really a match, you'd be looking to lay the draw. Looking at the match itself, all dependent on who scores first. Excuse me. Who scored first and any red card. Well, Nancy scoring first, but remember, 2.45 the favourite. So we need a very good argument to take on this Nancy lead, because you can see the importance of 3 points to them. Well, a quick equaliser for Estac and a winner. So the red card didn't impact any decision making. It came after the goals were already sorted out. It's a difficult match to trade because of the 2.45 the favourite status. So you'd have to defer to the InPlay stats or have a pre-match idea that the carrot of going top would be enough for Estac Trois to fight back. Looking at the XG again, 1.55 for Estac Trois. Any reaction to that Anansi goal? Not really first half, second half. A definite leaning towards the away side. If that's something you picked up on yesterday, marry that with the league standings, takes 3 points away from that. That's 51. They will still remain top, but this is just adds that buffer between themselves and third, which is what Estac Trois are really after, automatic promotion. So marry all of that together. It's a possible trade there yesterday based on the league position. I wonder if I was live whether I'd have played that one. 2.45 does scare me a little. Irish Premier Division, keeping an eye on St. Pat's. Well, they're not priced to win, 2.1 the favourite, 2.63 the favourite Shelbourne. Still early in the season, but St. Pat's really caught my eye at the weekend. There could be a side worth following. It's still very, very early in the season. Not much to get us excited about in the Premier Division. Galway and Waterford, though, 1.65 home favourite. Did they have to claw back a lead? Well, Twardek, the mighty Twardek, scoring first. Sounds like a Doctor Who villain, Twardek. Fakineri, sorry for butchering Fakineri's surname, equaliser and pushing on for a 1-2. So the opening goal was an own goal. Treat that with a bit of disdain. 2-2 for Hurley. And then Desmond Tutu at half-time. Could have arguably laid that draw second half. 3-2 for Twardek. And that would have been your out, I suspect, with the odds-on favourite scoring that goal. So possibilities there, but it's still very early in the Irish season. It's going to blossom as one of our important summer leagues once all of the big boys go away to get their new tattoos over the summer, new haircuts. Cremonese and Fiorentina. Cremonese have had trouble even scoring. This is a relegation 6-pointer. Jamie Vardy's boys have lost the ability to score goals of late, and it's costing big time. Fiorentina, this could be a season-defining win. Taken them within 4 points away from the relegation zone in what was a must-take points off your nearest rival match. With Cremonese scoring first, if they did, that could have been a potential angle in. But the Viola have been very disappointing. Well, a 2-0 lead at half-time. With that Cremonese inability to score, I would not have taken on that Fiorentina lead. So no real trade for me yesterday in that relegation 6-pointer. Moving on down. Eredivisie, very goal shy yesterday. Spanish La Liga, Rayo Vallecano and Levante. Did the red card impact on the performance? Did Levante take the lead, for example? Indeed they did. SP, that's your first potential angle in to look at the second half. Rayo Vallecano's first half stats. 0.29 XG, 4 one shot on target only. So a degree of trust in the pre-match odds if you were to take on that Levante lead. Compensated with by that. When did the goal come? Well, a Mendy red card. So that would have put the frighteners up. Anyone who took on that Levante lead, you'd have been luckily rewarded. But that very early red card for the odds-on favourite at home would have made for a troubling trade. So thankfully, this is what we tend to get on Mondays, rather than, but apart from when you're having Champions League football, you often get some of the bigger names turning up, but it's a difficult coupon. And that's it yesterday, really. Let's have a look onto today. So today's trading angles predominantly Champions League based, and we're going to be working off the first leg scorelines. Watford and Wrexham begin the day in the Championship. 2.2 the favourite, i.e. a lukewarm favourite. What's the story of the season so far? Well, Watford are holding on. Or Wrexham are holding on to that last playoff place. 60 points. Watford need to take points off Wrexham. Need to keep Wrexham on 60. Watford will move up to 55 with a win. So this is crucial must-win territory for the Hornets at home. Wrexham, been in pretty good winning form. We can have a look at their season-long form as well. This is a difficult match for me. It's not a straightforward, readable match. There wouldn't be a banker bet in this one. And again, on Sunday, had I stuck to my bankers list, we would have had a relatively smooth day of it with perhaps not many opportunities, but not really any losing opportunities. So this banker list has proven its worth, and I should really have stuck with it on Sunday, because that's the whole point of the banker list, is to cut through the noise and don't get tempted in by the likes of second from bottom Cercle Brugge in Belgium, that kind of a thing. Looking at recent form, well, Watford have had trouble scoring. Only 3 wins in 2026. Well, trouble winning, sorry. Not trouble scoring necessarily, but trouble winning. Contrast that with Wrexham, who do look, in stark contrast, a little bit more reliant, don't they? Their losses, strangely enough, coming at home. Wins away, 2 1-0 wins recently, so reliance on that defence against some of these sides. Both teams to score record last 3 for Watford coming away from home, failing to score against Ipswich, failing to score against Swansea and Millwall at home, Watford. So the challenge table might offer us some patterns here. 10th against 6th. Losses against 3rd and 4th have come recently for Watford, which might be a negative, but this is problematic, isn't it? They do have a solid 2-goal scoring habit against 5th to 9th. And that 2-2 last time these two met doesn't look like a match which I can immediately read or have a strong opinion on. So watching brief on this one. A necessary must-win for both of these two sides. Wrexham must keep Watford at bay and indeed boost their chances of staying in that playoff place. English League One, busy as ever today. My first port of call, as ever, is odds-on favourites. So we'll have a look at these odds-on favourites. Cardiff and Luton absolutely stand out at the moment. It's with Cardiff and Luton that I would perhaps stick my bankers list on tonight. Luton, odds-on favourites, and they've been delivering when they're not odds-on as well. So that is a good sign. It's the kind of thing you see with Middlesbrough. They suddenly get themselves to odds-on favouritism and they tend to deliver. So looking at where these sides are, Wimbledon mid-table, but with 56, the entry point to the top 6, they can do their playoff places no harm at all with a win. 52 points with a win today for Wimbledon. Leyton Orient find themselves in 19th place, just above the relegation zone. 2.15 the favourite is off-putting. Blackpool in the last relegation place. Odds on at home to bottom side Port Vale. Must take points off your nearest rival. Port Vale will enter the 30-point barrier with a win today. Relegation 6-pointer, that one, isn't it? Bolton against Donny. Bolton are all the way up here. 68 points with a win for Bolton, within 2 of the 70-point club, and the possibility of breaching the top 2. It's looking unlikely. So if that's unlikely, Bolton's main worry is to keep a huge gap between themselves and Stockport County, which they're doing successfully at the moment. Well, they're unbeaten in 4. Looking good, Bolton. Playing Doncaster. Doncaster find themselves on 43 points, 5 points above the relegation zone. So still business not concluded for Donny. Bradford against Burton. Well, Burton you see on 43 points. Bradford will go 3rd, possibly, with a win today. Keep in that playoff zone. It's important that they try to move up to that 70-point zone as well. That will crush any competition from this lot for the playoff places. The teams still in that 50-point barrier are going to be in a spot of bother. Mansfield find themselves on 45 points. Burton and Reading, I think Burton are down here, 43 points. Reading find themselves on 55. So this is a crucial match for Reading today. That's one I'm going to highlight. A Reading win could be absolutely crucial to their playoff campaign, but they're in a spot of bother form-wise, aren't they, recently? Not priced to be competitive today, Reading, but you saw with Derby, similar odds with a similar story. Might they do a number? We'll keep an eye on that one. Cardiff, banker material for me tonight. Cardiff and Luton. Two matches I will look at the odds and the home favouritism producing a result, particularly for Luton, who've been in superb form for the trader. That's the kind of match I'll be focusing on this evening. Huddersfield and Luton. Huddersfield in that last playoff place with Stockport able to capture them. Reading able to get them. Wickham with a win, possibly catching them. Plymouth will be on the same points with goal difference negative. So Huddersfield, they are at home. Not fancy today though. They're playing top of the table Lincoln. But with 2.25 the favourite, you could see an improved performance from Huddersfield. It's not a strong favourite at all, the top of the table. Luton against Exeter. As I say, Luton have been superb and on 51 now. 54 with a win today. They have been very reliable in all competitions of late. I just hope they can continue that good run for us. Peterborough on 46. Rotherham in a spot of bother. Will still remain in the relegation zone with a win, but give their hopes no harm at all with the 40-point club, the key to success. Plymouth and Stevenage. Plymouth again have an opportunity to go top six with a win. So that's going to be absolutely huge for them. Stevenage, I can't see. Well, Stevenage are in the playoffs, so this is a playoff 6-pointer, if ever there was one. Plymouth and Stevenage. The importance, more important for Plymouth to take points than Stevenage. Got to take points off Stevenage, Plymouth. So watch out. Odds on at home. Are they going to deliver? Stockport County, very, very strong favourites today. And they're just outside the playoffs. That's why. Playing Northampton, who find themselves in a relegation zone. So this is a relegation and promotion 6-pointer. So it should be a very competitive match this evening. Barnsley and Wigan. Wigan outside the relegation zone. Barnsley, where are they? 49 points. Must get into that 50-point barrier. Plenty of stories in English League One this evening. Similar, English League Two. Take a look at the main contenders here. Just got to be aware of the time. We haven't even touched the Champions League yet. Bromley, MK Dons been very, very reliable of late. Cambridge United tend to be banker material, but only evens today away from home. So they'd certainly be the only real side to automatically catch my eye in this League Two. It's a tough coupon. Salford could also be a shortlister for me today, putting together an impressive winning run. Got home advantage and odds on status. So stand out for me here from a banker's perspective, Salford and Cambridge. Looking at the Champions League, it's all about the first leg scorelines. And Sporting Lisbon need to score before half-time. There's a lot of 3-goal deficits. Chelsea, Real Madrid, Sporting, all 3-goal deficits, suggesting a breakthrough before half-time. That could be an angle in if there's no goal after 20 minutes. Could look at a goal before half-time. They have to score to have a realistic chance of breaking out. So important. And the first leg scorelines will be the key angles in. I'll be playing them all this evening. So I'll see members of Football Trading Profits on Telegram later on. Have a great day and see you later.